Mathematics, development and learning for infants, toddlers, and twos. This video will identify appropriate math development for infants, toddlers, and twos. Objective 20 uses number concepts and operations. Counting. Infants and young toddlers are not yet counting. Older toddlers are able to use number concepts and operations. An indicator is a toddler verbally counting, not always in the correct order. An example says 1, 2, 10, as he or she pretends to count. Older toddlers are able to verbally count to 10, counts up to 5 objects accurately, using one number named for each object. An example of the above indicator when a toddler counts to 10 when playing hide and seek. Quantities. Infants and young toddlers are not yet able to quantify. Older toddlers are able to quantify. An indicator of a toddler quantifying occurs when they demonstrate an understanding of the concepts of 1, 2, and more. An example of the above indicator occurs when a toddler says, "More apple," to indicate he wants more pieces than given. Connects numerals with their quantities. Infants and young toddlers are not yet able to connect numerals with their quantities. An older toddler is able to connect numerals. An indicator of a toddler connecting numerals with their quantities occurs when the child recognizes and names a few numerals. An example points to the 1 when the teacher says, "Where is the numeral 1?" Understands and uses place value and base 10. Infants and toddlers are not yet capable of understanding and using place value and base 10. Applies properties of mathematical operations and relationships. Infants and toddlers are not yet capable of applying properties of mathematical operations and relationships. Applies number combinations and mental number strategies in mathematical operations. Infants and toddlers are not yet capable of applying number combinations and mental number strategies in mathematical operations. Objective 21 explores and describes spatial relationships and shapes. Understand spatial relationships. Infants and young toddlers are not yet able to understand spatial relationships. Older toddlers are able to understand spatial relationships. An indicator of an older toddler exhibiting an understanding of spatial relationships occur through following simple directions related to position. For instance, in, on, under, up, down. An example of the above indicator is when the toddler raises his or her hands up and down as the song directs. Understands shapes. Infants and young toddlers are not yet able to understand shapes. Older toddlers are able to understand shapes. An indicator for an older toddler understanding shapes occur when the toddler matches 2 identical shapes. Example, the toddler puts a circular puzzle piece in the circular space or places shapes in a shape sorting box. Objective 22 compares and measures objects. Infants and young toddlers are not yet able to measure objects. Older toddlers are able to measure objects. An indicator of an older toddler engaging in a measuring activity occurs when he or she makes simple comparisons between 2 objects. An example is the toddler indicating which ball is bigger when shown a tennis ball and a beach ball. Measures time and money. Infants and toddlers are not yet able to measure time and money. Represents and analyzes data. Infants and toddlers are not yet able to represent and analyze data. Demonstrates knowledge of patterns. Infants and young toddlers are not yet able to demonstrate knowledge of patterns. Older toddlers are able to demonstrate knowledge of patterns. An indicator for an older toddler demonstrating knowledge of patterns occur when a toddler shows an interest in simple patterns in everyday life. An example is when a toddler points to the towels in the bathroom and says, "They go this way, that way, this way, that way." Strategies. Identify patterns in daily routines. For example, you might say, "Every day we follow the same pattern. After choice time, we have cleanup, then snack, then story." Strategy 2. Call attention to patterns in the environment. Say, "John, you have a pattern in your shirt. Blue stripe, red stripe, blue stripe, red stripe." You are now ready to add documentation for each infant, toddlers, and twos in your care. We hope this guide has been helpful and you feel confident with entering child documentation.